Hi everyone, this is Miss Bowen from PEP Practice. We have our ongoing performance task series. We join every Saturday at 3 p.m. and we look at the pre-writing strategies and problem solving skills. You don't want to miss this session. It's our live Zoom session and all of the videos will of course be uploaded to our YouTube page, but you can have sit in on the classes, ask the questions and learn firsthand all the skills and strategies that are important to help you to do well in the mathematics, social studies, science, um, performance tasks. The sessions are mostly geared to pre-writing and problem solving, but some of the strategies are applicable to science and social studies. So that's why I included all of those. But yes, join us. Hi everyone, this is Miss Bowen from PEP Practice. We have practice. PEP or you can pay at 51 Duke Street, downtown. Unpacking the prompt is one of the P-writing strategies that we use to get the information from our task, which is also called the writing prompt, so we can know what to write in our essays, articles, or letter, whatever piece of writing that we're doing. All right, so here's the writing prompt, this portion that I'm highlighting. I'm not going to highlight in one color as is right now because I'm going to be unpacking the different parts of the prompt using the PASTT graphic organizer. But there's the writing prompt here. I'm going to be unpacking this prompt first here and discussing the different parts of the writing prompt that we're looking for before I go to unpack another prompt. All right. So this writing prompt, it says that you are a writer for the Young Inventors magazine. It is a magazine for children ages 8 to 10. All right, I'm admitting other students to the class. So I'm a tad bit preoccupied. So it says you're a writer for Young Inventors magazine. It is a magazine for children ages 8 to 10. This or the next issue is about how inventions change over time. Write an article about how telephones have changed since they were invented. To get ready to write your article, you will read the following sources: Voices on the Telephone, Telephones Past and Present. In your article, describe what phones have looked like at 3 different times in history. Explain how people made calls using each type of phone. So we're going to be unpacking the prompt using the PASTT graphic organizer. P stands for purpose, the A stands for audience, S stands for strong verb, T stands for topic, and the other T stands for task. The purpose of your article is to describe or to explain. So in every article that is done, the person that is writing the article or letter is describing or explaining something in most cases. So the purpose is also what you want the reader to understand when they're finished reading the piece of writing, which is an article in this case, but it can be a letter or other pieces of writing, such as poems, songs. It is conveying a message, and that is the purpose why you're writing it, because you want the readers or the listeners to know this point or idea. The A stands for audience, and the audience is who will be reading. Sorry. So the strong verb, as I said, the audience is who will be reading your article, or who would be listening to the song. Whatever piece of writing or expression it is, the person who that is listening, the person who is listening or reading the information is the audience. The S stands for strong verb, and it's basically the verb that tells you what you're doing in your article. So you're either describing or explaining. As I said, you're either describing or explaining something. So the strong verb could either be to describe or to explain. When we talk about our topic now, we talk about what the article will be about. Whatever writing will be about. Every writing has a topic. And the task now is what kind of information that should be coming out in your article or essay or whatever piece of writing it is. So let's look back at the prompt. And this writing prompt, I was trying to explain to one of my students today, when you're taught these type of strategies and skills, it is something that you're going to apply to your writing prompt. I hope you stick with me when we actually get to look at a past paper. Like about week 6, we're in week 4 now for those of you who are just joining, but the other videos are on the YouTube page. I'll share the link shortly, and you can go there and watch the previous series from last term, as well as the preceding class to these classes, to this class that we're having right now. All right. So when you look at a performance task, the task won't tell you that you should unpack the prompt. To unpack the prompt is basically just a strategy that you're learning otherwise, that other students are probably not privy to, but this is what the ministry wants to be coming out in your writing. In order for you to be bringing out all the different things that the ministry wants to see based on the task that they have assigned or the writing prompt that they have given you. And the writing prompt, again, is just basically, I'm going to do a video on writing prompt and what it is. But the writing prompt is just the instructions of what you're going to do in the article. And we can see it from here, what we read before. So now, when you look at the performance task, the language arts performance task that you're doing in your class that your teacher is practicing you with, or when you're going to the actual examination, you won't see on the paper, students unpack the prompt. It's going to give you the prompt, but you just should know automatically because you're learning to unpack the prompt. That when you see a prompt, what you do is to unpack it using the graphic organizer, or if you're not able to come up with the graphic organizer at that moment in your brain, you can just pull out the important information, write it out, depict what you think they're asking you to do in this writing, whether it be an article, a letter, whatever you're writing. Who are you writing to? Your audience. right? What is it that they want to see inside of this writing? What should be included? What is the thing that is necessary to be included, right? And larger or greater than everything, you have to know what are you writing about. That's the topic too as well, you understand? And then you want to know how are you writing about, what format you need to write in. So that's why we unpack the prompt. So let's look at the prompt now and try to unpack the prompt. So we're looking for the purpose, why we're writing the article. Let's read once more. So it says, you are the writer for the Young Inventors magazine. It is a magazine for children ages 8 to 10. The next issue is about how inventions change over time. Write an article about how telephones have changed since they were invented. Because I've read the prompt already, I know that why I'm writing the article, there are two very important pieces of information: the purpose, why you're writing it, and what should be brought out in the article, or whatever piece of writing it is. I cannot emphasize that the same strategy that applies to writing an article, it applies to writing a letter or any other piece of writing. So there's a task and there's the purpose. The purpose is why you're writing the article, what we want the readers to understand. At the end of this reading, we want the reader to understand, or at the end of them reading the article, what we want them to understand is how telephones have changed since they were invented. So I'm going to highlight this as the purpose. I'm going to use a color highlighter to highlight it. So that's the purpose. Now we're looking for the audience. Can anyone tell me in the chat or otherwise, who are we writing to? Does it tell you who are we writing to? Who do you think will be our audience? Does anyone want to try? From you reading the prompt, who do you think will be our audience? Who will we be writing to? All right. So I'm seeing in the chat, children's ages 8 to 10. Yes, very good. So that's our audience. So I'm going to be highlighting this in another color. All right. So we have identified the purpose and the audience. So now we're at the strong verb. When you look back at the purpose, I'm going to scroll down to it shortly after highlighting the audience here. It says the purpose of your article is to describe or to explain. So these words here, choose a different color. These words here, to describe is a verb and to explain is a verb. They are a strong verb because it tells you what you're going to be doing in your article. So we can highlight these in green and go now and look in our prompt to see if we're seeing any of these words. Other strong verbs are to highlight, to outline, and so on. I can share a list of that in a subsequent class. I can also make a video of identifying strong verbs. So let's look if we're seeing any of those verbs. And we're seeing describe and explain. So the strong verb for this writing prompt is describe and explain. In the prompt, we're going to be describing what the phones, or in our article, we're going to be describing what phones have looked like at 3 different times in history and explain how people made calls using each type of phone. So that's the strong verb. Now we're at our topic. So our topic says what we're going to be writing about. And a key to know, or a key to note, either you can note it or it's something that you should know, that when you're looking for the topic, in a paragraph or any piece of writing, here in the writing prompt, you're looking for the word that's occurring most. So there's a word that's going to be occurring most, and that's the top. Okay. All right. So what is the word that we're seeing occurring most, or the word that we see repeated? What is the word that is repeated? You can type it in the chat or you can say otherwise. For those of you who are just joining, I see that some of you joined a little bit later. I'm Miss Bowen, and what we're doing in this session is unpacking the prompt. We have these weekly sessions, and these are performance task preparation sessions from September to October. So we're at our 4th week, and we're looking at the pre-writing strategy to unpack the prompt. On other sessions, we looked at problem solving, and you can look at those videos on our YouTube page. All right. And also for the part of this video that you didn't get to see because you're entering later than we started, you can watch it on our YouTube page when it is uploaded. All right, now let's look at the topic. And I was saying you can say in the chat, what is the word that you see occurring most? And that's the topic. What is the word that you see repeated? Can anyone share? What is the word that is repeated? Are you seeing a word that is repeated?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, what is the word that is repeated? I'm seeing something in the chat now. Telephones.
Unpack.
Repeat. Unpack.
Unpack.
But we still want the word here in the prompt that is recurring most. And that's what the title or the topic of the article is not about unpack, it's about telephone. Someone said it in the chat. I want others to try as well. So the topic is about telephones. Somebody raised their hand. It's not about magazine. What is it about? What is this prompt about? What will the article be about? It says what? Let me highlight the amount of times I see telephones occurring using another color. So it's telephones here once. We also have telephones here. We have telephones here. This is still referring to phone. And here as well. So that's what the topic, what the article will be about, phones. And now we can look at our task. Does everyone understand why telephones would be the topic? As we see it occurring most, it is what the article will be about. And then finally, we look at the task. And this is what kind of information we will need to include in our article. So it says that in our article, we should describe what phones have looked like at 3 different times in history. And it uses red to say that this information must be coming out in your article. What telephones or phones have looked like at 3 different times in history and how people made calls using each type of phone. So this is the type of information that should be coming out in your writing. You must, when the person that is reading your article, your letter, reads it, they should be seeing the purpose. In this case, when the person reads the article, they should be seeing how telephones have changed since they were invented. You're writing to students or children who are from the age 8 to 10, and you're writing about telephones. And in your article, you must describe what phones have looked like at 3 different times in history, and you must explain how people made calls using each type of phone. All right. Great. I'm going to be sharing the website. This booklet will be uploaded to the website. I'm also going to be sharing the YouTube page that you can watch the recording of this video. So that's the website, sharing the YouTube page. I hope you would have garnered as much today. And you're able to apply these strategies that you're learning in these classes in your writing at school and in the examination. So what I always do is keep you well informed. So the dates, the proposed dates for the new performance task examination for grade 6, the ability test will be in February 2022. The date is the 22. So February the 22, a lot of twos. The second month, February 22, 2022. That's when the ability test will be done. That's what the date that the ministry has put out thus far. For the language arts performance task, this is what these sessions at this moment is geared towards. You can watch the ability test sessions from last term. And so the language arts performance task, will be on March the 23rd, 2022. You can write down the dates. The language arts curriculum-based test. So the mathematics performance task will be on the day after the language arts, which is the 24th. You're going to have the science curriculum-based test, which is on the 22nd of April, 2022, that's in the morning. And the language arts and the science is on the same day. So the language arts is in the morning and the science is in the evening. And the next day, you're going to have the mathematics and social studies performance task, which is on April the 28th. So those are the dates that we're looking for. And it takes a lot of preparation to prepare yourself with these skills for the performance task. You can watch them over on the YouTube page, as I was saying, and go over them, learn the strategies, apply them in your writing for every task that you're getting at school. And if you go on the website, you'll see other tasks. You can download them and practice unpacking the prompt and using up these skills that you're learning for every question that you're answering. Try to use up the problem solving steps and the strategies that I would have shared here in this class, and apply what you have learned here. All right, so that's where we end for today. In our next session, we're going to continue looking at pre-writing strategies, and then that's for week 5, and then for week 6, we're going to move to mathematics performance task, and then hopefully we can move to the language performance task in week 7, and then do a revision in week 8. All right, so